over, but no, I am not taking off my decorations anytime soon because Canadian winters are depressing enough and I can use a little boost in my room. So yeah, they're gonna still be there maybe for another 2 months. So today's video has been requested by my friend here on YouTube, and her YouTube name is Lone Parent in Med School, if I remember correctly. So hello! I hope you're gonna like this video. I hope it's not too late, and let's get started. In today's video I want to focus on studying for 2 or 3 exams that are happening in the same week, not in the same day, because I've had 3 exams in one day and studying for that is just hell. So if you want me to do a video on that, let me know. But in this one we're just going to focus on studying for, let's say, 2 or 3 exams that are happening in the same week. So let's say you have one on Monday and one on Tuesday, or one on Monday, one on Friday, but basically they're in the same week. So with that being said, I have 4 tips that I would like to share with you, and you know me, so let's start with number 1, which is prioritize. So I know when exams are all important, right? And you might seem like you have to allocate the same amount of time and effort to both of them or to all 3. However, there is always, I guarantee you, one that is more important than the other, or one that you're having more hard time with than the other. Let's say one's worth 35%, one's worth 20%. I would focus more on the 35%. You need to make some priorities. So look at the exams, weigh them out, look at how you feel comfortable with each material. If you're having more trouble with that material, don't avoid it. That's where your time and energy should be focused on more, rather than an exam that you're like, I know this like the back of my hand. If I review it once or twice, I'll be more than fine on the exam. So definitely weigh them out, see which ones you need to focus on more, because there's always, like I said, one that is more important or more urgent than the other. Also, another thing you can do is just simply take it as which one is first. So if one's on Monday and the other one's on Friday, of course you're gonna study more for the one on Monday because you have like a few days in between to focus on the one on Friday. So the second point I want to make is in relation with time. So how much time do you have to study for these exams? If you have 2 days, wow, good luck. But you need to know how much time as a whole you have to study for your multiple exams before you start studying, because if not, you'll feel overwhelmed. The time is just gonna fly by and you won't see it coming or going, and you need to know how much you can put into it. And after that, make yourself a schedule. You need to have a schedule, especially when you have more exams at once. You need to be extremely organized. You need to know what you're doing, because it's really easy to get lost. It's really easy to feel overwhelmed, and that's exactly what you don't want. You want to be calm, know exactly where you stand, know exactly what you're doing. So really focused on time, give yourself a time frame, plan out your schedule, and just take into consideration, like the point before, which one has more priority, and that way you know what needs more time, what needs less time. So definitely time is a big factor here. Moving on to point 3, which is space them out. If you have 2 types of material that like complement each other, that's amazing. But let's say you have a test in like biology and then a test in philosophy, you're like, wow, not even, no. It is very important to like separate your studying for these tests, because if not, the material is gonna start to merge in your head and you won't understand which is which. Also, something that happened to me is I had to study for 2 tests. The material was very similar, the concepts were very similar. Actually, I think it was the exact same concept. It's just that in one test they said it that way, and the other test they said it another way. So I had to know which definition goes with which test. So that can be extremely confusing. So what I suggest that you do is, let's say you study for one test, then take an hour break just so your brain zones out of that material, and then study for the other one. You need to space them out, so that way it is clear in your mind that they are separate topics, that they have nothing to do with each other. Even if they do, space them out, because your brain needs to understand that it's one and one, not like everything at once. It's gonna overwhelm you, it's gonna stress you out, you're gonna see it as one big end of the world when it's just two tiny tests, you know? My last advice to you is to test yourself when you finished studying. So let's say make yourself tests for each material, and then let's say the night before each test, do your practice test. That way it's gonna really put you in that mind frame. I cannot talk today to save my life. Also, what can help is when you do make these little practice tests, or even when you highlight or study for each material, use different colors. So when you do, let's say, test A, it's going to be green, and when you do test B, it's going to be orange. So that way in your head, you see it even clearer that they're separated, and it's going to make a distinction in your mind. So I really think this will help also, just so you know, it's two different things. Don't put them all together because you're going to feel very overwhelmed, like I said, and I think this helps a lot. So try it out. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say on this topic. I really hope it helped you out, and welcome back once again to the school-related videos. If you have any suggestions or you need help with anything, let me know. You know I always do them. And good luck with your new semester. Start hard, finish harder, and I'm here with you all the way. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe to me if you like what you see. I will definitely see you next week. Bye guys!